Ooh. Ah. Okay, that is better. So, welcome from the sci-fi spectacle world of quarantine. Um, my name is the Nerdman. I'm reintroducing myself to YouTube after a very, very long hiatus. And this program or podcast that I usually do is named after my favorite superpower ever, the most OP superpower ever, which is with enough prep time. So this is a podcast talking everything to do with superheroes and geek culture. And I'm very, very much looking forward to the 0.0000 views that I get on this particular podcast. But if you do join, thanks for joining. Please, if you enjoy the video, do like, subscribe, and more importantly, please comment, because I'd love to have a conversation with you about other ideas for videos as well. So the controversy at hand, which I'm going to do a series of videos on, everything Zack Snyder, and everything Snyder Cut, because I have a lot of opinions. I've been watching a lot of different YouTube channels and their views, such as Jody's Corner, Popcorn Planet, and I constantly am always wanting to be in the debates. Unfortunately, I have some problems with my computer at the moment, but I'm sure one day I will join one of these debates, because I have a lot to say on the whole controversy. But the latest one, which I find very, very interesting, is apparently, and it's after the title of this video, apparently the Harley Quinn show, TV show, has now been trolling the Snyder fans. And it is proof, supposedly, of Andy Signore's theory about how Warner Brothers see the Snyder Cut and the Snyder Cut movement. So I'm going to post a link to the video in question, both the Jody's Corner video about and Popcorn Planet video about Warner Brothers apparently trolling the Snyder Cut fans with this particular episode of the Harley Quinn show, and I will also put a link to the Harley Quinn show as well. So what do I think? I watched the Harley Quinn show, saw the video, and essentially you had a very fat, unkempt, unfit guy wearing Release the Snyder Cut t-shirt, and then you had another guy who's to do with the Star Wars controversy, which I don't really care about so much, so I don't know that much about it. I'm not a big fan of Star Wars. I'm more of a Star Trek guy. And anyway, so he has an accompanying T-shirt with another controversy about the latest Star Wars movie, and they're having a discussion with each other. I'm going to try and make this so it's not too long, because I can sometimes go on a bit, but I want to try and cut this to be very, very short. So, and please tell me if it's too long in the comments as well. So these two guys are wearing these t-shirts. One of them is fat and unkempt and is presented as being very, very irrational. And apparently the idea that Jody's Corner is floating, and this is specifically to Jody's Corner, and I'm a huge fan of his channel. I really enjoy some of the debates. I don't tend to agree with anything he's saying, but I do really enjoy the debates, and I'd love to debate him one day. But his theory on this particular video is, or in this particular scene in the Harley Quinn show, is that simply because this person is wearing a Snyder Cut, released the Snyder Cut t-shirt, and therefore Warner Brothers executives from high on top were actually approved of this scene, were for this scene, and got maybe even got the showrunner to actually put this scene in the Harley Quinn show. So what are my thoughts? I think there's I think that that there is some merit to what Jody is saying. I do think actually there is a little bit of trolling going on with the Snyder Cut movement, but I think there's actually something a little bit more vicious and underhanded going on in that video and in that scene, and who they're really taking shots at. And I think actually, shockingly, and probably to Jody's Corner's surprise, if you rewatch that video, what they're really taking shots at is people like Jody, and they're taking shots at people like Popcorn Planet. They're trolling Jody's Corner, and Jody's Corner is like celebrating they're trolling him. It's really, really funny, actually. I've watched this scene many times. So what do I mean by this? Let me explain. The whole context of that video is, he's wearing Snyder Cut t-shirt. Yeah? But what is he actually saying? What is the character in the actual film saying? And you can stop this video now, watch the clip, and then go back and actually see that what I'm saying is true. So one of the things that is a big thing on the internet at the moment is this kind of anti-SJW, anti-social justice warrior movement that is going on the internet recently. And what film came out which was a big, largely attacked by the anti-SJW movement? It was the Harley Quinn movie. The Harley Quinn film was the film that was actually, attacked by the anti-SJW movement. So this guy's saying, Harley Quinn is a Mary Sue. She in this, TV show, and in this show. She's beaten the Penguin, and she's beaten the Riddler, and it's so disrespectful to Batman and his villains that Harley Quinn is just running roughshod over all the villains, and that's why he doesn't support the TV show. And the other thing is, it's attacking men, that men are essentially being to prop the women up in the film. They're attacking masculinity and making men look bad, essentially. And this has been a big focus on YouTube, which I've noticed. And to be fair, where I see some of the point, I think a lot of it is actually exaggerated. And specifically in the Harley Quinn film, it was exaggerated because the Harley Quinn film was a little bit SJW, but I think the real problems with that film were the fight choreography, and I won't go into it too much because I don't want to derail the topic of this video. But the real problems with that particular film, the Harley Quinn and the Emancipation of, or the Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of Harley Quinn, was, I think the fight choreography was a bit off, and I think it was badly timed because, again, no DC fan is really asking for a Harley Quinn movie. It's another one of those examples of because it's connected to Batman, we must love it, and it's just not the case. People would much rather see, Superman, Martian Manhunter, something different. An expansion on the Batman world at the moment is a bit overdone, because we've got the Joker, which was a fantastic movie. We've got, Nolan trilogy. We've got like a lot of Batman related stuff. So another, one where it's the Joker's girlfriend. It's just not really something that I think DC fans were looking for. So I think those are the two big problems. I think the actual SJW-ness of that movie, there was a little bit of it, but it wasn't offensive SJW. It wasn't like Batwoman, call me a woman, that kind of level where it's just juvenile. That's my big problem with it. It's not that I'm offended or it challenges my masculinity or anything like that. I just think if you're going to do something in support of women, why not just make it a little bit more intelligent? I have no problem with films that try and give us powerful or interesting female protagonists. At all. I mean, like, really at all. I don't mind if they're like incredibly powerful, because often male characters are incredibly powerful, and we have no problem with that. No one's calling Iron Man a Mary Sue, even though he can create time travel, create a gauntlet, by himself, So I have no problem with OP female characters at all, really. But in any case, the film did not do well, and Jody's Corner was one of the, among a lot of different other channels, was one of the advocates of, this is just this SJW complete crap, rubbish, and they were happy, salivating over the fact that the movie did so badly, and it was like, go woke, go broke, or whatever the thing is. And this whole clip is all mocking. This clip in the Harley Quinn show is mocking those exact type of people. So it's really, really amusing to me that Jody's Corner and Popcorn Planet are there saying, this is in support of what we were saying. And you notice that they never mention what the character actually says, because all of that stuff about virtue signaling, about a Mary Sue, about like the two powerful characters, the things that they use to say movies like Captain Marvel are bad, and to support other movies like Alita Battle Angel, which is also equally bad, if not as worse than Captain Marvel. And I don't like Captain Marvel at all. I think it's trash, but I don't think it's trash. It is trash because of the SJW stuff, actually, with that movie. That movie is really like held back by some of the SJW messaging. But apart from that, the movie is also just very, very bad. But the point is that the celebration, the pure joy that comes off of movies like Birds of Prey or Charlie's Angels failing is something that YouTube channels like Jody's Corner have very much celebrated. And that is the person that clip in the Harley Quinn show is talking about. And why is it talking about that type of person? It's talking about that type of person because Harley Quinn movie failed. So they're butthurt about the Harley Quinn movie failing, and then they make this clip insulting the type of people who were celebrating its failure. That's it. That's essentially it. So it's so ironic that Jody's Corner is now celebrating this. I find it amusing, beyond reason, that Jody's Corner and Popcorn Planet, even though I agree with them sometimes on, that certain SJW agendas in movies derail the movie. I'm not so ubiquitous or universal in my in my criticism of those types of movies, because some types of movies that I would say are quite SJW, I don't agree with that particular agenda, but some movies that are quite SJW are very good movies. I don't agree with the agenda. Some movies that are really pro-Republican or pro, kind of American exceptionalism are really, really good movies, but I don't necessarily agree with the message. I just, as a film critic, have to say, if you were trying to get across that message, you got it across well. So, for instance, a film like Booksmart is a very, very SJW movie, but it's a very, very funny and good movie. So not all SJW movies are bad. It's just the message behind it. Some of that, I think, is highly ignorant and highly entitled. So that's my opinion on that. So with the Harley Quinn movie, I thought the story basically was good. I thought the story and the characterization of Harley Quinn was good. I thought what was weak was the other Birds of Prey. I thought what was weak was, and I'm going to finish after that, this was the lack of explanation of how Harley Quinn became Harley Quinn. How is she able to do all of these fantastical things? Because if you're going to set the world in a kind of more gritty, grounded reality, it really bugs me that no one explains why Harley Quinn can do backflips over a car while having roller skates on. It's highly unrealistic. So that's the kind of stuff that bothered me in the movie. And I thought the action was bad. And I thought the action was bad because they let Margot Robbie and all of the Birds of Prey do their own action rather than getting stunt choreographers to fill in for them during the action roles, because they're not very good at doing the action themselves. So I think those were the big problems with that movie. Anyway, that's the end of my video. I want to thank you very much for joining me. As I said, this is with enough prep time. Please share with Jody's Corner. I'd love for him to respond if he ever does to this, because I think that is what really was being criticized in that TV show. And specifically, it was being criticized because the Harley Quinn movie failed and they were butthurt about it. And yes, I do also agree that they were taking a shot at Snyder Cut fans as well. But I think more so they were taking shots at anti-SJW kind of YouTube channels and this kind of people. So thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I want comments, please. Love to hear what you think. Thank you so much for joining me. My next video is going to be about whether Superman could be cast as a black character. Thanks so much. Have a nice day. Bye.